Today we are going to learn a very new topic and a fresh topic called as test scenario. So I don't know how many of you know what is a test scenario. Everywhere in manual or ETL, every time we have to know the two documents called as what? Test scenario and what? Test cases. Okay. Fine, guys. So what is a test scenario? To understand a test scenario, we have to understand a particular scenario. Suppose a person met an accident. Now this is a particular scenario that a person has met an accident. Now, what do you mean by test scenario? That means that scenario has happened. Now, if we have to check that person has met an accident, what we'll go do? We'll go to that place and then what we'll do? We'll check. Actually, that person has met the accident or he is just telling lies. Okay. And next thing is what, guys? If the person has met an accident, hasn't been given to the hospital. So these are called as what, guys? These test scenarios. Okay, fine. Now, this is a very high level kind of thing, guys. If someone tells that what is a test scenario, this is a very high level thing. That is what, if I tell what, that a particular accident has happened, the particular person went to hospital, the particular person met an accident with a car. This is a high level. But what is a detail level, guys? If I want to test that scenario, detail level means what time, what is his name, what is that place, where he fell down, how he fell down. If detail level informations are there, that becomes a test case. If high level documents are there, high level information is there, that is called as test scenario. So this is a non-IT example I taken, but in IT industry with respect to software testing, what is test scenario? Test scenario is a, first of all, a document written in what, guys? MS Word document. What is that? Here what happened, it is all the possible way of testing an application. Suppose an application is there, then all the possible ways we can test that application. Suppose now Facebook application is there, then how can we test that Facebook application? It is possible that we can test the Facebook application from the login page, then we can test the timeline, then we can test the videos, then we can test the pictures, then we can test the setting button, then we can test the chat button. So that is called as what? All the possible ways of testing an application is called as what? Test scenario. So test scenario is defined was, guys, first of all, you have to tell what? It is a high level document which consists of all the possible ways of testing an application. So always remember in test scenario, you have to tell what? It is a high level document, which is, it is a high level document which consists of all the possible ways of testing an application. So now, guys, first of all, it is a high level document which consists of all the possible ways of testing an application. Next is, guys, who writes this test case? Who writes this test scenario? Who writes it? Can you just give me the answer? Test engineer. Test engineer. Yes or no? Yes. Where is the test scenario written? What is the answer for this? Yeah. Kirti, where is the test scenario written? What is the answer for this? It is written in where?
Excel we have written. After that we will upload the test cases in QC and ALM.
It is written in MS Word document. Test scenario. Fine, guys. Now how it is written, that we will learn. So guys, there are some standard ways how we write a test scenario. So first of all, the standard ways I have written here in this document. I have written like this rule to write the test scenario. First, I have written test scenario should be simple and not more than 2 to 3 lines. cannot be a paragraph of means 10 lines or one page. It should be simple and not more than 2 to 3 lines. Test scenarios are generally written end to end. That means from a particular test scenario is written from the starting till the ending. That is called as what? End to end. That is not nothing but the system test scenario. End to end. Test scenario consists of do's and checks. There are two things, guys. Do's and checks is also called as what, guys? Verify. Checks are also called as what, guys? Verify. These are the rules to write the test scenario. Next, guys. Now comes what? How to write the test scenario. So let us just come. These are the 5 scenario I have written. The template is very, very easy. The standard template. Sometimes they write the test scenario in Excel. That is also correct, not wrong. But generally it is written in Word document because it's a high level document. So there are two things: serial number and test scenario. And how we'll write, guys? Suppose serial number 1. What is the point? Verify the structure of the source and target as per the STM document. This is one of the test scenario. Next is we can write verify the structure of the source and target as per the STM document. Yeah. Any doubts? Verify the structure of the source and target as per the STM document. This is one of the test scenario. So if you see for the do's and next scenario is verify the source and target count between source table name of the source and target table name of the target. Okay, verify the data between source and target table. Verify there is no duplicate in the primary key column in the target. Verify there is no null for the column defined as null. These are the 5 scenarios I have taken, guys. So if you see, verify the structure. So this is what, guys, do part. Verify the structure. Verify the source and target count. Verify the data. Verify there is no duplicate. Verify there is no null values. So this is called as, guys, check part, since it is written verify the structure. Verify the source and target. This is check part and this is do part. Verify the structure of what? Source and target as per the STM document. So what we have to do? We have to open the source and the target, and then we have to verify. So this is what do part, because verify, we have to verify the structure. This is the check part, but do part is what? The source and the target. So we have to open the source and target as per the STM document and check the particular structure. How we check the structure of the source and target? Kirti, how we check the structure of source and target? Can you just tell me? Open the database and check the, if I write like this also I can write a test scenario: structure of source and target. This is one way. This also, like this also I can write. Instead of this, I can write like this: open the database and verify the structure of source and target. Or directly we can write like this: verify the structure. This is generally written in any company: verify the structure of source and target by opening the database, and opening the respective source and target structure. Yeah, so my question is like this, HTRU. You can write like this. Okay, verify the structure of source and target. Now this is what the check part. Do part is what? By opening the database and opening the respective source and target structure. So my question to you is, how can we guys, how can we check this structure? Can someone give me the answer, guys? How can we check this structure? Can someone tell me?
Describe source table name, describe target table.
Yeah, what is the answer?
Describe source table name, describe the
Yes, yeah, describe source table name and describe target table name. Next is verify. Similarly, I will write here verify the source and target count between source and the target table. Here you can write by opening the database and write the count query for source and for source in bracket you will write down the table name and target you will write down the table name. That's all, guys. Very easy, simple. Verify the source and target count between the source and the target table. Now this we can consider whole as what, guys? As the do part, and target and check. This whole we can consider as check part, and this whole we can consider as do part. What is the do part? This we have to do by opening the database and write the count query for source and target table. Again, verify the data between source and target by opening the source and target and comparing the data between them. So till here it is considered as what, guys? Check part, and this will be considered as what, guys? Do part by opening the source and target and comparing the data between them. Verify there is no duplicate in the primary key column defined in the target by opening the target table and write duplicate query for the column defined as primary key. Verify there is no duplicate in the primary column in the target table. This is the check part, and do part is what, guys? By opening the target table and write duplicate query for the column defined as primary key. Verify there is no null value for the column defined as not null by opening the database, by opening the by writing, you write like this, by writing the query to check the column defined as not null. Writing a query to check the column defined is not null. So this is again the check part. Verify there is no not null values for the column defined as not null. So guys, did you understood which is the do part, which is the check part? Any doubts? Yeah, Kirti, are you there? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
So which is the check part here? This is the check part. Yes or no, guys? This we have to check, verify the structure of the source and target. Here what happened? Which is the check part? Can you just tell me? Verify the source and count target between the source table and the target table. Verify the data between source and target table. This is the check part. Verify there is no duplicate in the primary key column in the target table. Verify there is no null values for the column defined as not null. This is the check part. Which is the do part, guys? Can you just tell me? Do part is what? By opening database. Okay, by opening the database and opening the respective source and target table structure. source and target table structure. This is the do part. Here, what is the do part here? By opening the database and write the count query for source and the target. Open the now verify the data between source and the target. This is what check part. What is the do part? By opening the source and target and comparing data between them. Verify there is no duplicate in the primary key column in the target. This is the check part. What is the do part? By opening the target table and write duplicate query for the column defined as primary key. Verify there is no null values for the column defined as not null. This is the check part. Do part is what? By writing the query to check the column defined as not null. This is called a test scenario. It's a high level document. Now we'll come to the detailed document called as what, guys? Test cases. Now let us study the test case. So what is a test case? First of all, anyone knows what is a test case?
Detailed steps.
Yeah, it's a detailed level of document which consists of all the inputs and navigation steps required to test an application. Okay. So I have given the definition as what? It is an in detail step-by-step procedure to test an application. It consists of all the possible inputs and navigation steps. So first of all, what is a test case? So the definition is it is an in detail step-by-step procedure, a step-by-step process. It is a in detail step-by-step process or procedure, step-by-step process or procedure to test an application. It consists of all the possible inputs and navigation step. Now, when we write a test case, so what is the answer for this? When we will write the test case? Kirti, what is the answer? When we will write the test case? What will be the answer? When we will write the test case? First of all, what is a test case is very easy. What is a test case?
Test
It
case, detailed
in detail
steps,
step
which
by
consist step
procedure to test an application. It consists of all the possible
combination
inputs and
outputs.
navigation steps. What is navigation steps, guys?
Like
Have
from
you-
how to first we log in the database, then also
Yes,
provide the username and credential. So
Correct, correct,
database access will be working fine. Then we will access the database, which particular server we connect using database.
correct. Those steps, like in a video game, first I will move to left, then I will move to right. So all these are what? Navigation steps. So that is what is the definition of. And when we write the test case, what is the answer for this? As
See,
soon as we
once
as
the
soon-
high level scenario will be got the approval, like we will be validating these test scenarios. After that, we will go to for the same scenario. We'll put it the in detail test cases.
yes. Just tell what as soon as we get the requirement, we will write the test cases. This you have to tell. That means as soon as we'll get the requirement, first thing a test engineer will write is what? Test cases. This is the answer. General process is what, guys? Requirement. Then what we wrote? What we write? We write what? Test scenario, high level document. Then we prepare the in detail document called as what, guys? Test cases. Yes or no, guys? Yes. Then before after that, we prepare something called as RTM document. Have you ever heard about that?
Requirement traceability matrix.
Requirement traceability matrix. Also called as what, guys? Cross reference matrix. Also called as what, guys? Matrix. So these are what? CRM requirement traceability matrix. Then what we will do? After RTM, it will be done as what? Test execution. Yes or no, guys? Yes. After that, we will do the defect logging. And then in the end, we will do what? Release.
Release.
This is the final product of software that is handed to the customer. So we are here. We're writing test case. Fine, come here. So whenever this question is asked, when we write the test case, you have to tell as soon as we get the requirement, testing engineer starts writing the test cases. Some of the companies does not write test scenario. They will directly get the requirement and they will write the test cases. But what you tell is that no, as soon as we get the requirement, we'll prepare a high level document called as test scenario, which consists of all the possible ways of testing and application. Then we prepare a detailed level document called as test case, which consists of all the possible inputs and navigation steps. Then a question is asked, why test cases are written? So test cases are written why? To have maximum test coverage. Test coverage means what, guys? All the possible inputs and all the possible inputs. That means what, guys? Both positive and negative. To have what? Maximum test coverage. What is test coverage, guys? All possible inputs, both positive and negative input. To have test consistency. Test consistency means what, guys? Any test engineer will test what? What will happen? We'll have the consistency. Means today I'm going to test this particular application. Then a consistency is that first we'll test the login page. Then we will check the particular Facebook application. If I go, then we'll check the timeline. Then we'll check the chat option. Like that, there's a test consistency. Like if it is with respect to the ETL test cases and all, we'll first check the structure, then we'll check the count, then data. Like that, a consistency is maintained. It is not the first step. We'll start testing the data, then we'll go to the check the structure. Like that, we don't do that. To have that test consistency, we'll use what? We write the test cases. Every time a new test engineer, there's one more reason, guys. What are the reasons? Every time, suppose a new test engineer is recruited, so what will happen? He not to be trained on the application. Rather, he can start testing using the test cases. That means what, guys? Now what will happen is what? This is point number 5, what I told. Point number 5 is what, guys? Every time a new test engineer is recruited, he did not need to be trained on the application. Rather, he can start testing by seeing the test cases. Now, suppose test engineer 1 is working, now he left the job. Now test engineer 2 will come, he can see the test and he can start testing. He does not need to be trained on that particular application. Then, guys, what is that? We again, and this is the reason. Next is what, guys? Every time the test engineer will not have to think the values, because in test cases we have to think the values. So every time test engineer will not have to think the values again and again. So we write the test cases. Testing depends on process rather than person. It is more of the process oriented. Whoever is intelligent, whoever is not intelligent, it doesn't matter, because we're dependent on the process. So everyone will follow the same test case. So these are the 5 reasons why we write the test case. First is to have the maximum test coverage. Test coverage means all possible inputs, both positive and negative. Next is to have test consistency. Time saving. This is point number 3 is actually written like this: time saving. Why time saving, guys? Because test engineer will not have to think on the
Test case.
to think on the what will take inputs again and again. Okay. Suppose I taken out a positive value and I taken out negative value. So if there's no test case, again we have to think, right? Okay, we'll check the count, we'll check the duplicate, we'll check the. So what will happen again and again? All the positive and negative scenario we will have to think. But that will not happen if the test engineer has already the test case. So it will save the time. Then it will not depend on the potential of the person. A person has studied from a very good college, very intelligent. A person has studied from a big grade college. It's not that much development intelligent. That's okay because it is a process oriented. Because you will see the test case, that intelligent person, non-intelligent person, everyone will see the document. He can test this. Every time a new test engineer, and also every time a new test engineer is recruited, he need not to become expert in that particular application. Rather, he can start testing by seeing the test cases. Am I clear why we write the test cases? Any doubts, guys? No. So test cases are written in a document called as Excel sheet document, okay, which is also called as what, guys? Test case template. So test case is written in document called as an Excel sheet called as test case template. Now, guys, there are two more documents, two more things. I told you test execution, that is testing the application by seeing the test cases, and test evidence documents, that means the evidence of the validation performed while doing the testing activities. These two documents we will learn later. As of now, this is a document, this is the process, we'll learn later. As of now, test case is written in the Excel sheet called as what, guys? Test case template. Fine. Let us just make these points. Fine. Now we'll see how the test cases are written. Test cases are divided into two, guys. One is the ETL test case, one is the BI test case. ETL test case means ETL testing test case. BI test case means business intelligence report or test case. That means when we test a business intelligence report, how is the test case written? So any test case is divided into three sections, guys. If you remember, if a person is having head, then he has something called as what, guys? Body, and then he has the footer section. So this is what? Footer section. This is one header section, and this is what, guys? Body section. This is body section. This is footer section. And this is what, guys? Header section. A person has three things. So test case also has how many things? Three things. First, it will have a header section. Then it will have a body section, and then it will have a footer section. So this is a header section. What is header section, guys? It consists of test case name or ID. That is nothing but the Cheetah Max M01 test case version 1.00. This is the particular name I have given this test case. Then test case time. Which kind of test case this is? This is integration test case because the data is flowing from one place to another. Test data, that means the minimum input to required to proceed with the testing activities. So which is the minimum input required to proceed with the testing activities? This is what, guys? That is the database credentials. That is nothing but the username and password of the database. This is the status. This is the overall status of the test case. It can be passed or it can be failed. This is requirement name or number. Suppose R01. This is module name or number because it's M01. This is release name, the particular release at which this test case has been released. Okay, this particular application has been released. So its name I have given is Cheetah. Project name I've given as max. Severity, the importance of the test case I've given as critical. What is the description? This test case is written to test the data between the source target source table name and target table name. Fine, guys. This is the footer section. Guys, I'm getting some disturbance. Can you just mute your systems, everyone, please? This is the footer section. This is the author, the person who has written the test case. Guys, please mute your systems. Everyone, please mute your system. Guys, please mute your system. Guys, I'm telling something. Are you listening? I'm getting some children voice. Can you just mute your system? Yeah, so this is the footer section. His name is what? The person who has written the test case, his name is Vikram. Reviewer, the person who has reviewed the test case, suppose Rakesh has reviewed the test case, so his name will be there. Approved by the person who has approved this test case. Suppose Samyukta has approved this test case. So this will be the name of the person who has approved this test case, Samyukta. Date means what, guys? The date at which this test case is written. Suppose it's written on 25/7/2022. So this is the particular test case, header and footer section. Any doubt, guys, in header and footer section? This is the release name. This is the project name. This is the severity, importance of the test case. This is the description, one line statement why this test case is written. So the test case is written to test the data flow between source and target. This is the status. The overall status can be pass or fail. This test data, minimum set of data to proceed with the testing. And this is the test case type, and this is the test case ID. Now, guys, come here. This is the body section. This is the most important section. This is what you have to write everywhere. Everyone, they mainly focus on the body section. This fine. This you can write at your own. Header and footer section, just you have to remember the attributes. In footer section, author, reviewer, approved by, and date. In header section, test case ID, test case type, test data, status, requirement, module, release name, project severity, and description. But the main test case is what? Nothing but your body of the test case. Suppose there is something called what, guys? Step number 1. So step number 1, test description, structure validation. Action: check the structure of the source and target table with the help of STM document and compare the same. So what will happen is that, guys, here you have to write down the in detail document. I told you test case is an in detail step-by-step procedure to test the input. It consists of all the possible inputs and navigation steps. So what happened here? What we have to check? You have to check the structure of source and target table with the help of STM document and compare. What we have to do here, we'll go to the database. You give the username, password for source, and database username, password for target. And what is the SQL query we will write, guys? Is the source DESC table name, target DESC table name. Expected result is what, guys? Structure between source and target must match. This is the expected result. Actual result we will write later. Status and comments we will write later. Now count validation. What we have to do is, guys, log in into the source database, check the count of the source, log in into target database, check the count of the target compared to the source and target. This is the action. In test data is same, the username, password of the database. Query: select count star from source, select count star from target. Source and target count should match, and then actual result we'll write later. Now come here, data validation. Log into the database and compare the data between source and target. And then test data is same here. We'll write what? The queries, guys. How to validate the data between source and target. What is the answer, guys? We have to use what? Minus query.
Yes.
We'll use which query, guys? We'll use the minus query. Select column 1, column all these things from the source, minus select column all this column from the target. Union, do you remember this query? How many times we have used? Yes or no, guys? Yes. This is source minus target. This is target minus source, and we will do what? A union between them. Yes or no, guys? Yes. Then what is the next thing? What should be output? No record found. Fine. Next is what? Duplicate validation. There is no duplicate found in what the column defined as primary key in the target. Yes or no, guys? Yes. One second, guys. Duplicate validation, there is no duplicate found in the column defined as primary key in the target. What will happen, guys? We'll have to write the query. Select count star from target table, group by column having count of star greater than 1. What should happen, guys? Then it should not return any duplicate value. Okay, fine, guys. Okay, now this is fine, guys. Next is what, guys? Null validation. Check the null column defined as not null in the target. What will happen? What is the query? Do you remember? Kitty, select star from target where column is null.
None.
Output is no record. Yes or
No
no?
record. Yes.
Yes. And the actual result, what will happen? Suppose structure is matching. So we'll write down structure is matching between source and target. Count is matching between source and target. No record found, no duplicate found, no null found. All the status is pass, 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 pass. These are test steps, guys. These are not test cases. All the test steps are passed. Then we'll write the overall status of the test case as what? Pass.
Pass.
Okay, fine. Any doubt, guys, in the test case? Tell me, guys, yes or no?
It's fine.
Fine, guys. Fine, guys. Then we will go to the BI report test cases. Okay. BI report test cases is what, guys? This is the first is the UI validation, then is the functionality validation, then is the data validation and the performance validation. This is called as UI related test cases. What is that? UI validation means that open the report and validate the report by comparing with the BRD. What is the test data? And so what we have to write, guys, in this UI validation? Now open the report and validate the report and compare it with the BRD. Okay. And what you can write here, open the report and validate the report and validate the report by comparing it with the BRD. And you can also write here some details like compare the alignment, color, font, and typo, etc. Now, next is what functionality like export functionality, drill up, drill down, link, button, filter, print. What we have to write? Export the report in Excel sheet or PDF or HTML and check the report is exported correctly. Then what you have to write? Then what you have to write? Next is what? Drill up and drill down of the main report to the sub report by clicking the sub report should be working properly. Click on the links and button, apply the filters on the report and print the report, all data. Now next is what till here. Now what will happen, guys, when I write export the report in Excel or PDF or HTML and check the report is exported properly. What is the expected result? All the reports should be exported in a specific format. Actual result as expected. See, either we can write in the actual result the complete thing or we can write as expected. We can write here. We can write here instead of as expected, we can write what? All the reports are exported. All the reports are exported in the specific format. Status is pass. Either we can write like this or we can write like this. Next is functionality, drill up and drill down. The drill up and drill down of the main report to the sub report should be working properly. So we should drill down from the main report to the sub report as expected. Next is what, guys? Functionality, link and buttons. Click on all the links and button. All links and buttons should be working clickable, working fine as expected. Next is what, guys? Filters. Apply the filters on the report. The data in the report should be displayed as per the filter selected. Actual result as expected. Status pass. Next is what, guys? Data validation. All the data of the report should be matching with the data warehouse. So give the username password of the data warehouse and the username password of the report and write the query. Suppose I want the maximum cell for a particular region. So select column 1, which is the region, maximum cell from the fact table, join it with the dimension table on group by on the joining condition, and then group by what? Group by this particular column. Do you remember? I told this kind of queries. Yes or no, guys? Yes. When I was teaching you the data modeling, yes or no, guys? We'll join which table? Fact and dimension table on the joining condition and then group by what this particular column. Data should match between the report and the data warehouse. That is what example maximum soil for a particular region should be displayed. Is the actual result as expected, status pass. Performance of the report, data is loaded in the report, check the stability and response time of the report, username, password of the report, and then what should happen? Response time should be very fast and report should be stable and status pass. If it is failing, guys, then what will happen? If it failed, then what we'll do? We'll write it as what?
Status fail. Then
What
raise
will
a
we write?
defect.
Fail. Then what will happen?
Then we need to raise a defect.
Then we will need to raise a defect. Excellent. Then we will raise a defect for this particular test step, which is failed. And the overall status of the test case will be pass or fail?
Fail.
Fail. Overall status of the test case will fail that time. But here, since I have made all the steps as pass, then what will happen, guys? The overall
Pass.
status of the test case is pass. Yes or no, guys?
Yeah.
This is same that header and footer section. Test case ID, test case type, test data, status, requirement, module, release name, project severity, description, and on the author is what? Reviewer or Vikram who has written, reviewer, the person who has reviewed the test case, approved by the person who has approved the test case, and date. This test case is written to check the UI functionality, data, and performance of the report. Am I clear, guys? Tell
Vikram,
me yes
what
or
is the difference between ETL cases and BI test cases?
BI report you will open, okay? You will open a BI report. Yesterday I sent in a WhatsApp image a BI report. Did you saw that?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
So you are testing that BI report, but in ETL what will happen? The data is getting loaded from the source to target. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. So that is a difference, right? Here what happens? Here you will actually test the BI report. I don't know why that messages are not getting displayed. 1 second, guys. Fine, guys. My system is getting hanged today. Okay, that is fine. Yeah, so this is the Power BI report which you are going to test. Okay, fine. So this is the report you will test, that color, this font, and these numbers and all. This is the end product of ETL testing. Okay. Now what will happen? Do you remember the architecture? What I told? What is the architecture? Tell me. What is the architecture? First, this is the source. It can be a database, XML, Excel, if you remember. Then it goes to what? Staging environment. Then it goes to what? Data warehouse. Then it goes to what? Data mart. Do you remember that?
Data mart, yes.
And then it goes to the report. Yes or
Reporting.
no? Yes.
Yes.
So the testing is what? From the source to the data mart. That is data warehouse is a part of the data mart is a part of the data warehouse. So we tell data warehouse. Okay. So till source to this particular data mart you are testing. Okay. This is what ETL testing. The data has been loaded properly from source to the data warehouse. On a high level, data mart we tell what? Data warehouse, because it's a part of the data warehouse only. So this is till here it is the which testing, guys? ETL testing. But when you start comparing this data warehouse, data marts with the report, that becomes what? BI report testing. Am I clear?
Okay.
Fine, guys. Next is, guys, the initial load test cases and incremental load test cases. I have written some of them. For incremental, I have written only the scenarios. For initial load test cases, I have written the full. What are the test cases I have written, guys? Let me just show you. So verify the workflow job executed. Action is run the workflow. Test data SQL not written. Expected workflow must execute successfully. Actual result workflow ran successfully. Status passed. Next. Verify duplicate record in the target table. Check there is no duplicate found in the column defined as primary key in the target. Test data is username password for the target table. Select column count star from target table. Group by column having count. No record found. Actual result no record found. Status pass. Next is verify surrogate key sequence order in the data warehouse. This is very important. This is different. Let me just bold it here. So check the surrogate key sequence number. Surrogate key is always in the sequential order. So how we can write? Select column from target, order by that particular surrogate key column ascending. It should be shown in the ascending order. Surrogate column should be in the sequence order as expected. Next, the verify duplicate record in surrogate key. Check there is no duplicate found in the column defined as the primary key in the target table in the data warehouse. The surrogate key column should not be having duplicate value. Select the duplicate query. Select column count star from target table group by column having count star greater than 1. No record found. No duplicate found. Status pass. Next. Verify surrogate key is not null. Check the surrogate key is not null. And then the query select star from select column from target where column that surrogate key column is null. Output is no record found. No record found. Status pass. Next. Verify effective start date with the ETL process date. That means when the ETL start date has happened and when the ETL process date happened. That means what, guys? Know there is something called as ETL process date. There's some columns called as ETL start date. There's something called as ETL effective date, effective start date, effective end date. So all these columns are nothing but your effective start and ETL process date. If you remember, I told you there's something called as what? If you remember SAT type 2, I told you there's something called as what, guys? Do you remember that? Active from, then terminated from, all those columns, effective start date, effective end date. I told you all this column. Okay. So ETL process the date at which the data is loaded. So now what we are comparing effective start date with ETL process date. Check the EF is same because the effective start date from where the person will start working and the date at which the data is loaded should be same. So select start from effective start date not equal to ETL process date, no record found. Next is effective end date with the start date, effective end date and start date should not be same. And what we have column, select start from target where effective end date equals to start date, output is no record found. Next is verify initial record have same date. All the initial records should have what? Same date, guys. Select distinct load date from the target. Okay. And then what should happen, guys? Only one record should be shown because we cannot have a lot of dates for the initial load at the same date only that has been loaded. Verify this column should have null values. Okay. So this column, verify this column should not have this null value or this date column should not have what, guys? Null value. So we'll take this all these columns and put it as is null, and date column should not have any null value. Next is verify only one record exists with active flag A. The active flag A should have a filter condition with active flag A. Okay. And there should be only one column defined as active flag as A, and active record flag should be A. Active flag should is A for only one column. Then count and the duplicate data and the error log file. This is not generally used. If there is any error log file, if it is failing, that should be displayed. This is simple. This is the count validation and the duplicate validation. These are the initial load test cases. Now, similarly, there are incremental load scenarios I have written. You can write the test cases. Verify work job executed. Verify source and target count in the inserted and updated records. Verify duplicate record in the target table. Verify surrogate key when the attribute values changes for the existing record. Verify effective date is not changed for the old record. Verify effective and effective start date and effective end date are always different. Verify effective end date for all the incremental record. Verify effective end date is updated properly for the old records. Verify ETL process column number after incremental load. Here also you can add more scenarios if you want. You can write down what? Verify insert logic. Then you can verify what? Verify update logic. Then you can write what? Verify
Delete.
logic. So how to verify insert logic? Can you tell me, guys? Insert. So this is the first time load, guys. So this is insert is what? In first time load, we'll insert all the records. So this is fine, guys. So insert means what? Insert this all the records This will we can check or we cannot check because this is the first time load, right? So insert logic we don't take because we are loading all the records. Let us just check the update logic and the delete logic. Now what will happen in the update logic and the delete logic? What will happen, guys? That will be considered as what? It will consider as what? Not in the initial load. It will be considered as what? In the incremental load. Yes or no, guys? Yes. Tell me why. Why we cannot write update and delete here? Because this is a first time load, right? So if I have to write the update and increment logic, I have to write here. See where? Verify the insert and the update logic. Not in one scenario we should write. We can write separate. For the updated record. You can just copy the structure from here. And you can just write in the incremental load case. You can just write, suppose step number 1. Can you help me in writing? Verify workflow job execution. What will be the action description? What will the action description? Can someone tell me? Run the workflow. Yes or no, guys?
Yes.
Workflow or job. What will be the test data? Test data will be not applicable. So there is no test data for this. What is the SQL query?
No, not applicable.
What is the expected result?
Workflow job should be successfully executed.
Workflow job should be
Executed
successfully. Actual result, what will be the actual result? Either we can write what? Workflow job is executed successfully, or we can write as expected. Yes or no, guys? Yes. Status, suppose it is executed properly. Status pass. Fine. This is step number 1. Step number 2. Verify source and count for the inserted record. Okay, insert logic. What will happen?
Not applicable.
Action is what? Insert
Insert
few records. Suppose few records means 10 records. Okay, few records in the source and run the workflow. Yes or no, guys? Yes. Now what will happen? Suppose 10 records I am inserting. So what is the test data? Not applicable. What is the SQL query? Not applicable. What is the expected result? What will happen, guys?
Select count 1 from source table. Select count start from target table.
Yes. So your first of all, your expected result is what, guys?
Source and target count should be made.
Source and count. The new records should be inserted. Okay. And duplicate record should not be inserted. Always new records will be inserted, duplicate record will not be inserted. And then if I have to validate the count, what will happen, guys? What is the SQL queries? Can you just tell me?
Select count start from source table. Select count start from target table.
No, but how will you verify that the updated inserted record? Okay. New record which are, first of all, you have loaded the 100 record. Now you are loading the 10 record. So how can you verify that?
Based on primary key order by ascending order.
No. Are you understanding? See, we have loaded 100 record in the initial load. Now we are loading what? 10 record. So what we can write? Select count start from target, where first is what? ETL run number, then is what? Date. Yes or no, guys? I told you.
Right.
Yes. Do you remember that? So select count start from source. Suppose I put a date column. Okay. Date equals to, suppose this date, 25/07/2022. So for this date, what, guys? 10 records are loaded. So we can get this count easily. Select count start from target, where date equals to what, guys? 25/07/2022. Fine. What is the expected result, guys? Can you just tell me? The new record should be inserted and duplicate should not be inserted. And the main thing is what? Main thing is not this one. Main thing is what, guys? Main thing, you don't write like this. Main thing you write down, count between source and target must match. Yes or no, guys? Yes. So now, all of you know Excel. All of you need to know Excel. Actual result as expected, status pass. Fine, guys. Excellent, excellent. Next. Next, guys, verify the for the updated record. What we'll do, guys? Update few records in the source and run the workflow. Yes or no, guys? Yes. Not applicable. Test data not applicable. So SQL query will be what, guys? Can you just tell me how to verify the count and the count between the source and the target for the updated record? Can you just tell me? Kirti, can you just try?
Yes,
Updated
select count start from source where date it will change for particular duration.
Yes, for a particular date, for a particular time, the record has been updated. Yes or no, guys?
Yes, yes.
So we can write, suppose it the date has been updated is what, guys? Suppose tomorrow, 26/07/2020. Date is the updated date column, and this is the count in the source side and count in the target. Select count of star from target where date equals to 26/07/2022. What is the expected result? Count match between source and target as expected. Status is pass. Now, fine, guys. Now, verify duplicate in the target table. I already told you. What is a duplicate query? You can write down by itself yourself. What is a duplicate query? Can you tell me?
Select count star from count star comma ID from
Yes,
table.
yes. From table group by ID having ID greater than this.
Greater than equals to
These
1.
all are have written in the initial load. You can just take and you can just write down. So this is what, guys, the test cases I'm giving you. Don't share it with anyone. This is very, very specific, very, very important. Keep for yourself. This is the ETL test case. Structure, count, data and duplicate and null validated. Then BI report based on the UI functionality, data and performance. Next, I told some initial load test cases where we validated what, guys? All this workflow, duplicate, surrogate key, duplicate in the surrogate key sequence number, surrogate key not null, effective start date, effective process date, effective end date, effective start dates, initial load have same dates, verify column with should not have date column, should not have null, and the active flag should be with A. And then we wrote the test cases for incremental load where we validated the source count for the inserted record, for the updated record, duplicate in the target surrogate key. We when the attribute value changes for the existing record, effective date is not changed for the old records. Effective start and end date are always different. Effective end date for all the incremental load. Effective end date is updated properly for old record. Effective ETL process number have the after incremental load. So all these scenarios are for what, guys? Incremental load test cases, initial load test cases, BI report test cases, and ETL report test cases. But generally, guys, in any company, finally we write ETL and this BI only, this particular standard test cases, and any specific with respect to the business requirement. And these are the BI report test cases, which are the standard test cases. These test cases documents are very, very specific. Let me just send you. That's all for today's class. Let me just stop the recording and share you the notes.